Hey, it's Mike. How are you? Thanks for checking out this quick video about counterargument, which is a staple of any sort of persuasive writing. I'm going to walk you through the steps. A little confusing, but I think hopefully this will help clear things up. When you're writing an argument, it's important to consider the arguments against you, against your main point or thesis. And the reason for that is because when you engage in any sort of argument, you have to take into account other things that have been said about your topic. And if you go in blind without considering the ways in which your opposition might try and debunk you, you might look silly. And I don't want you to look silly. So when you're doing a written argument or even a recorded argument, when you counter-argue, you're responding to the reader's objections before they've finished with your piece. And it shows that you're a reasonable person. It shows that you've considered both sides of the debate. You're not just kind of trying to steamroll the opposition. So let's take a look at this example here. Supermarkets should charge for plastic bags is the point that I'm arguing. And of course, when I argue that, when anybody argues anything about money, instantly there's going to be people who are opposing the viewpoint. Some ways that the opposition might try and debunk or oppose my viewpoint would be talking about how charging for plastic bags is a waste of money, about how plastic bags are more useful than paper bags, as all my friends with cats know, right? And that consumers should have a choice. And these are all perfectly valid, right? These are all really valid points that you could argue one way or the other. The way that we're going to consider this is through the lens of money. So when we're counter-arguing, right, we want to give clear signals to alert the reader the paper is about to express a different view than the thesis statement. Right? Because if we're arguing that grocery stores should charge for plastic bags, and then all of a sudden we seem to be arguing that grocery stores shouldn't charge for plastic bags, people might stop reading because they think we're confused or don't have it together. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to mention the other side, but we're going to separate ourselves from the other side with a signal phrase. The same way that you use a signal phrase when you introduce a quote, you use a signal phrase to introduce your counter-argument. So let's take a look at some examples of this. So you can go, many people believe that, or it is often stated that, or one might easily imagine that, or it might seem as if. These are all putting distance between you and the audience, or you and the argument, sorry. So let me show you what this looks like in context here. Many people believe that groceries are already expensive enough. They continue that charging for plastic bags will be an additional unwanted expense. So far, so good, right? Many people. When we say many people, the thing is that we're not really included in that. And they also reinforces that we're not part of this way of thinking. So we just turned the essay 180 degrees away from the original point. Right, so now we're going to do the 180 degrees back to complete the circle. So remember that we're arguing that grocery stores should charge for plastic bags. So when we turn it back, what we're doing is we're reflecting on the information that the other side might give. What this argument fails to consider is, this view seems convincing at first, but although the core of this claim is valid, it suffers from a flaw in its reasoning. Things like this. So let's see what this is in context. What this argument fails to consider is the enormous cost incurred by cleaning up after plastic bags. So that sounds pretty good so far, right? It sounds pretty good that, I've come up with a scenario where charging for plastic bags actually costs people less than charging for cleaning up after plastic bags. So that's a good thing. We can make it even stronger by adding a citation, by adding evidence. So according to the Sierra Club, California spends an estimated $25 million annually into landfill discarded plastic bags, and public agencies spend more than $500 million annually in litter cleanup. So once I've given the introduction and the quote, I'm going to analyze it. And I'm going to say, by charging for plastic bags, customers are given incentive to use reusable bags, thus helping to reduce those cleanup costs. So there you go. There's your full counter argument with rebuttal. So your arguments are more credible if counter argument is included. And this is election season, so we're going to be seeing a lot of opinion pieces, a lot of editorial pieces, so things line up pretty well in that way. So when you're looking at these, you're trying to decide whether they're credible or not. See if the counter argument is working in these steps. First, you turn against your own argument. Then you distance yourself from the opposition's arguments there with signal phrases. You rebut the other side, and you include facts to further your credibility. So that's how you do it. That's counter-argument. Thanks for checking out this quick video. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns via email. Peace.